would have thought she's filming 2 videos in 1 week and is actually going to get hopefully this video up tomorrow. No, I will get this video up tomorrow. Got my coffee. I'm about to get ready to go into Manchester to do some content for my best friend's brand. So that should be really nice. We've not seen each other for a while, so I thought we could do that and then also catch up at the same time. Alex is out in Manchester today. If you don't know who Alex is, it's my boyfriend. He's actually out in Manchester today, so it works out quite nice. I'm going to drive over and that's why I'm getting ready. But you would have seen from the title, this is really random, but it's been 5 years since I had my breast uplift, and to this day I get so many questions on, so many DMs on my Instagram. I get so many questions on my video that is also on here, so I will link that in the bio for you in case you just want to watch it. That was very recent to me having the op and experience of going into the hospital and having it done. I filmed that whole experience, not obviously me lying on the table with my boobs out, but everything that I could film I did film. So if you do want to go see that, I'll link them both in the description box. But I thought, let's get ready together. I'll answer a few questions. You know, watch my last vlog, you know that I went on a little bit of a spending spree, so I picked myself up this Chanel foundation, which I've got on now, which I am really enjoying. I just feel so pale at the moment. Like, what in the Casper is that? Like, it is ridiculous. With the first question, I don't want to make this very long. I just want to be like snap, get into it. Have a bit of context. Like, the reason that I had this uplift is because I lost a lot of weight. So I was 18 stone. No, I wasn't. Sorry, I was like 15 to 16 stone, and then I dropped down to 9 stone, even maybe into the 8s. Which meant obviously my boobs sagged a lot, and just let me tell you, like, any 21-year-old with my boobs would have been like, yeah, there was a lot of insecurity. It really did play on my mental health, and I felt so proud of myself that I'd lost all this weight, but then I was just so happy in that area. So I decided to obviously go and have a consultation, and it just went from there. Did the surgery take, and what was the recovery like right after? Surgery actually took about 5 hours, I think. I was only in the hospital for a night, but I went down at about 3 and I didn't get back into the room till about 10. It wasn't obviously the length of the surgery, but basically this is another, oh, I said I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but just for a bit of context, my body went into shock during the surgery. During the surgery. Can't get your words out. During the surgery, my body went into shock. Please don't let this scare you, because it is just genuinely a me thing. As a child, I had so many surgeries. We found that as soon as I went over that like 4-hour, 5-hour mark, for some reason my body was like, no, I'm not liking this anymore. And it just meant that my temperature plummeted, basically, went really low. It just means that you have to like stay in this room with like loads of heat on you, inflatable domes that blow hot air onto you. The surgery took a little bit longer, obviously. The actual surgery itself was like 4 or 5 hours, I think. Right after it, I would say the pain was really minimal. Probably say like a 5 out of 10. And the one thing I would say is, I'm not saying anything about obviously the NHS or anything, because how lucky are we to have the NHS, but these like nurses are on hand so much. Like, they're in every sort of like half an hour, like just asking if you're okay, like if you need anything, do you need any pain relief? And that was it. The only thing I would say is like I really struggled to eat. So as I came out, there was food obviously that I could eat, and I couldn't eat it because I didn't feel like eating. I definitely was hungry. I just couldn't move. So, and there was obviously no one there with me. Like, no one could stay with me during this time, because I actually don't know why they couldn't stay with me. I really struggled to eat, basically, and manoeuvre. So I felt like I was just in one place. So I got discharged. I felt quite sick. Obviously, a lot of people do say that they get anti-sickness after the surgery, but I never got that. Maybe I should have. I did feel really sick, so I got discharged, but I just couldn't walk. I just felt really faint and dizzy. As I got home, I was absolutely fine. I was on codeine for after the surgery, which were bloody strong. They were the strongest things I had ever taken in my life, like to the fact that I was hallucinating. Not to the fact that I was hallucinating, sorry, but you know it's quite common to hallucinate on them. I would just say that they knocked me out and I didn't feel any pain, so they were really good. Had to wear this special bra for 6 weeks, I think, and the surgeon that I had actually designed his own. So basically I had 2 plasters on my breast. Didn't have a drip or anything like that, or a drain. Didn't have to have anything drained or anything like that. I see that's quite common when people have a breast uplift, or I don't know, like I didn't have any drains. I did think I had drains because of these devices on me, but it turns out my surgeon actually created these plasters that have like 2 like suction machines on, and they suck the skin together. It just meant that like the scarring was so neat, and it was due to these plasters that I had to wear consistently. And I did find that like no one else had this recovery, so it was just known. His name is Mr. Duncan, the surgeon, and it is something that he has designed and created, and I think he has a patent on it, so no one else can ever use that machine or whatever it was he used for recovery. A fantastic surgeon. If you are looking, I will drop him in the description box. Again, about the recovery, what did your recovery timeline look like? 6 weeks with the bra. I would say about 3 or 4 months until I did any running, because I was quite big into my running at the time. Out of running for quite a while. Every time I ran it felt really uncomfortable. 3 to 4 months. Any unexpected challenges? I think I do want to really touch on about your recovery is that you do really need to rest. So I was actually on my own for quite a bit of it, so I went home for the first week so my mum could help me. And then after that I was back in Manchester, and I kind of just like, obviously my flatmate at the time was working, so I really had to sort of it was hard to just solely rest. One of the days I decided to make my bed, and I think this was about a week post-op, and I actually ripped my stitches. So don't be making your bed, honestly, like to the fact that like you can't even lift a kettle because you are so numb down there. You actually don't realise, you think you are okay and you think you can do things, but wholeheartedly, like you honestly can't. Like I literally made my bed, I think I changed my pillow and I pulled a stitch and I had to go straight back into the hospital, and yeah, it was quite traumatic because my nipple had actually gone really dark as well, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to lose my nipple, because that was one of the side effects, and that is one of the risks that they do tell you about, that you can lose your nipple. So I was like, oh my god, I'm going to lose my nipple, and this is going to be the biggest regret of my life. But it was absolutely fine. Like, and another thing that I want to say about this surgeon is that he wasn't actually working at the time that I went back into hospital. He was, bless him, I think he was actually like away somewhere, like not too far away from Manchester, but it was a Sunday, he was out with his family, and he actually left and came and seen me. So I thought that was like really, really just incredible. Obviously a nurse could have just saw me, but he actually made time and effort to come back and reassured me that everything was going to be fine. So that was really nice, because the nurse was a little bit like, oh, your nipple's black, and I was like, please just be honest with me, am I going to lose it? Like, what is going on with it? So yeah, like that's another thing. If your nipples do start to darken, please don't worry too much, unless they go like physically black, and there's nothing really to worry about on that one. Very common question I do get asked about is the scarring, and honestly, if I could show it you, I would, but if you are worried and it is one of the things that is putting you off having this surgery, do not worry about the scarring. It is literally so minimal. You can literally barely see mine now, and especially around where the nipple has been like repositioned, you can't actually tell that there's been any sort of like surgery there at all. The only place you can tell is if you lift my boob up, you can just see the faint line, but obviously that you'd have to lift my boob up to see that, so it's just not, it's not visible at all. So please don't ever worry about the scarring, because it's absolutely fine. It's so minimal, and it's just for a bit of scarring to have your dream boobs. I just think it's like, it's a no-brainer for me anyway. So please don't worry about the scarring. A very common question, which I'm absolutely more than happy to answer, is the cost of it. It was around £7,500, I think. I'm sure that it's around that ballpark. I mean, this is going back 5 years ago now though, so I really don't know if that would have changed. Roughly, I think what you'd be looking for the uplift. Again, this actually really just depends on your surgeon and who you go with. Friends that have had it a lot cheaper than that, but personally I was really happy with my consultant, and I was just, yeah, I was really happy and confident with my consultant, and if that's the price that he's charging, that's the price that he's charging. So that's what I paid. By the way, this Chanel blush is probably the most stunning thing I've ever purchased. Just feel like the colour of it is just gorgeous, and how much product you get is incredible. And I've got on here is, do I regret it? And I've actually had that question quite a lot in person as well when I spoke about it, and absolutely not. It is still to this day the best decision that I've ever made. The only thing I would say now, when you first have them done, they're so swollen and they will like sink into their natural shape. So I absolutely loved them when I first had them done because they were so swollen. They were up here. They were literally like the best boobs that I'd ever seen in my life. And like I was like, how are these actually mine? But obviously the swelling does go down and they start to go back into their natural shape. I think now if you looked at my boobs, you wouldn't even know if I've had an uplift. Not in the fact that like they're saggy or anything like that. They just look like normal boobs and where boobs should be, compared to my previous boobs. But I am thinking about going back and having an implant in, just purely because I just want them to be a bit more perkier. I love them now, and I don't wear a bra. I haven't worn a bra for like 5 years. I do occasionally, but I have put a bit more weight on now, so I feel like I could start wearing a bra. Actually, thinking about it, I went and bought some bras this morning for the first time in 5 years, just because I am a little bit like I probably should be wearing a bra. Do I want to say bra one more time? So I am thinking about getting an implant in, but I think I'm just going to wait until I've had children. The thing about a mastopexy as well, you will be warned that if you are looking to breastfeed, it's advised not to have it. And there's always the risk and complications that come with it. Is basically they take your milk ducts away, or some of them. So basically I don't know if I can breastfeed or not. I'll only find out obviously when I become pregnant. We'll be sure to let you know about that, because I've spoke to some people, or I haven't spoke to people, but I've googled it online to see if people have breastfed after a mastopexy, and they have, and they've been absolutely fine. Some people haven't. My surgeon did warn me that it's most likely that I wouldn't, because I think they took that much breast away that the likelihood of it is probably quite slim. That being said, like, yeah, maybe now looking back I would, or now that I'm getting closer to wanting to have children, the thought of breastfeeding would have been a really nice experience, but at the time I just didn't give a shit. And then I wasn't thinking about children, I was thinking about myself and how insecure I feel. Me having the boobs that I have now, or me having the boobs that I have now over having been able to breastfeed, like there wouldn't be a discussion on it. I would always have the surgery over it. I couldn't actually imagine going 5 more years with those boobs. Feeding, I know obviously a lot of people do want to breastfeed, and I do get that you can only have that experience like a few times in your life. I do get it, and sometimes it sits with me a bit like, oh, like I really do hope I can. But at the same time, like, my mum never breastfed me because I wouldn't take to it, so it is what it is. That's probably a bit TMI, isn't it? Why I came out with that. To sort of end this video, I hope I've answered most of the questions that I feel are relevant. If you are thinking about having this procedure done, my advice to you is research your consultant. If you have to speak to multiple consultants, then so be it. Make sure you've got a good support network around you for when you do come out of recovery, because girl, you are going to need it. And thirdly, if it is something that you desperately do want doing and you are insecure, all I can say is that it was the best decision that I ever made, and it just, like, the confidence that it gave me after that, it's just like, it's actually unmatched. Like, you can't put a price on it. There are finance schemes available with the surgeon that I had, so if it is like a finance thing, then obviously there's always options to look at. I actually took a personal loan out, like I said. I don't know if I touched on that actually. I had a personal loan from the bank, and then my family actually helped me, because at the time I was really young. I was 21. Taking out a personal loan with the bank probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. So I managed to get a personal loan with obviously my family, where I didn't have to pay the interest. So that actually really helped a lot. Options available, and if you want to book a consultation with the surgeon that I had, I will try and drop his details down below. His name is Dr. Duncan. He he goes around multiple hospitals, I believe, but I seen him at the Spire Hospital in Manchester. But obviously I think all of their details are on the website, so I will drop it down below for you. I'm going to finish my coffee. I'm going to do my lips off camera just because I'm going to put like a lip stain on. If you stuck it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that it answered any of your questions, and I hope it has put some ease onto anyone who was thinking about having the procedure done. And if you do want to know anything at all, just drop me. You can message me on Instagram, or you can put it in the comments and I'll try and get back to you. Now I will see you all for a brand new video, hopefully very soon. Bye.